Perfect. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Oh, nice picture.
Yeah. And thanks so much, Magdalena, for accepting our invitation, and thanks also to Carpet Studio and their marketing department. And also very nice to meet you for the first time, actually.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Yes, you are. Yes.
So Magdalena, let me give you an idea of what are we doing here. So basically, this is a video podcast called Worldwide Design. I am interviewing several players in the interior design, architectural, or business field within different countries. And in the meantime, while we have a conversation, the creative director of Tecnografica, Marco Fontana, will live hand draw
nice.
live, basically. So just to make it more interesting and nice, yeah. So Magdalena, I would like to start right away and ask you about yourself. So if you can give us an idea of who you are and what do you do in terms of your business and your projects.
Okay, so I am architect, designer also. Especially I work in hospitality for hotels, commercial galleries, for all the public spaces. So my job is architecture, designing, and what I really love in this job is creation. This is the part, yes. But I start from creation and I finish with very technical thing. To get my creation, to put my creation in reality, and to make it alive.
Nice. Thanks so much for this description. You know, we are also interviewing several people in this specific moment to understand how their countries and themselves are facing this COVID-19 situation that we are all living. So I was wondering about how you and also your country, Poland, how you are facing this situation and how it is influencing your work and your business.
Okay, so it has influence, of course. It has influence on our personal lives, but on the other hand, also on professional life. I would say that personal lives, it means that we stay more home, but we are missing people because we work in team. Our main thing is to create something in team, together with team. So we try to find a way how to make it live. I mean, how to make us together and create something. So we have to use computers, Teams, Zooms, and so on. But we still do the same. I mean, we still have creation. I would say that it has very positive impact too, because me personally, I spend more time in the greenery. I can work in the garden and so on. It gives more ideas. I can less meetings, yes. But on the other hand, this aspect is missing. But professionally, I would say we are creating a space for people. So this is major thing. And today we found ourselves with the idea that this space in the future, because of this virus, probably we have to think that we have a wall in front to people, yes? So how to design something in the hospitality, in hotels, restaurants, when you know that there will be some sanitary restrictions, and our job was really to put people together, to make co-workings, to make things to be alive, and this idea of connectivity. And now today we have different aspect, different approach, because we still think that people as a human being is very social. So we will stay social as people, yes? So even if we are separated, we still look for getting together. in design, in architecture, and so on. So we have to find a way how to work together and how to design for the people that will be together, but taking under consideration new hygienic problems. Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we are social animals, and as Marco is probably drawing live in this sketch. So my second question for you was actually, how do you think the interior design projects, especially, for example, I'm thinking about the offices, the office projects, how they will change after this situation concretely?
I would say that, as I observe, because we think that the interior design architecture is changing for people. It's changing because of their way of life, because they have different approach, because they want different things. But still, we are working and designing for people. Yes. So I think it will have an impact. It will change. But on the other hand, we have still remember about the thing that I said before, that we will still need this connectivity. Because even 1 or 5 years ago, in the time of computers, we see a lot of businessmen, a lot of people that travel a lot, that connect people by computers, but they feel lonely. So in this loneliness, they need to be social. So they need to hang together, meet together in some places. And the same is for the offices. The best idea comes when you are together. That's why we are thinking about this co-working and other things. Of course, this hygienic reason will have an impact. So we have to rethink it. I mean, how to, because we were thinking about the space that works like a whole organism, that we have space for people that are more technical, less technical, but all is merging together. And we would like still to keep this idea because it's a very creative idea, but on the other hand, we have this separation. So I know it will have an impact. We are still thinking about this, how to resolve this problem.
Mm-hmm.
But in our office, we are trying to be normal. Right now, everything is coming back to the
normality.
past. Yes, but still maybe we will have some more closed rooms. Mm-hmm. Maybe we will have some VIP rooms, I would say, that people would like to eat together and meet together, but maybe not in such a big groups. Yes, before it was a very big merge with big groups. Even in open spaces, it was a very huge area that people met. But maybe it will be the same idea, but in smaller groups. Yes.
You know, I was talking a couple of days ago with a Miami designer, and so basically I asked her what she was thinking about this new idea of offices, as you know, this trend of open office maybe has to be rethought after this situation. And she told me about, for example, islands in different places of an open office, where there's a very small group of people or teams that can work together. So different from the cubicles of the 80s, very ugly and bad, but still have some distances between people. How is the situation now in Poland in terms of lockdown? Are you?
I will just come back to your first.
Yeah, sure.
That I agree with her, and that's why we need still design the same way, that everything has to be very flexible. Yes, I mean, sometimes you have a group of 10 people or 5 people, and you have to modify the space very flexibly. Yes, and sometimes have some dividers to put flexibly. So this is the answer. Also, I agree with her, but everything has to be flexible.
Yeah.
How is in Poland right now? Yes, I think we are in special situation because we closed very early. So it progresses very early. And on one hand, we are very lucky because we never closed the construction site. We always could go for sport separately. So we had this quarantine, but reduced comparing to France or Spain or the others. But on the other hand, we are afraid that it will be maybe take more time in the end. We will see, but now today I would say that everything is coming back to life. We have commercial galleries open, restaurants we are opening Monday, sports we can do, we can go out. Of course, we by precaution we see the people less. We less see the people. Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say that Poland closing its borders early maybe has not been impacted, such as other countries like Italy or Spain or US, for example. And so I think that definitely you have a different approach on how you see this this pandemic if you are in certain countries rather than others. Basically, with all the people I talk with, one of the most interesting topic was about this. So if after this pandemic situation, there will be an actual new era in different kind of terms or not. I was wondering your opinion on that.
Once again, can you repeat? Because
so if so if you were paying attention to the design of marker,
yes,
and
nice.
yeah, me too. No, I was wondering, in your opinion, what's your opinion on the situation after this pandemic? So if you think that there will be a complete different era, or if it will be the same as before, or if there will be some changes, and if yes, which ones?
Of course, there will be some changes, but I think we are evaluating. So we will go quicker to all the internet thing, computers. This for me, this pandemic showed us that we can really develop internet, buying by internet, hang out by internet quicker than we expected. So it will of course change it, but we saw this direction that people need to connect. If you go to the hotel, you need to have a plug to connect at once. Yes, the same for the restaurant, the same in the offices. Yes, and it will probably change something, but especially in hotels. I think in hotels, idea of meeting people, conferences, idea of restaurants, that maybe we should have some VIP rooms to meet people. Yes, it will change, but I hope not too much, because we love our way of life.
Yeah,
yes.
True. So definitely your specific job has been impacted, that since you are very focused on hotel projects, for example.
Yes.
And I think that the hospitality field has been impacted a lot. For example, in Italy, it has been impacted a lot, since not so many tourists will come in Italy this summer. And so not so many hotels, they will have the liquidity in order to do restoration or changing maybe the furniture in the rooms. Is this something that worries you?
I don't know, because we still continue the project. We have project in Paris, 2 projects in Paris, and we didn't stop it. We continue. We have a project in Hungary. We have project in Ukraine, and it works very well. I think everything has to be managed. So I'm not worried about it. I hope it will be finished quickly. And if not, we have to find a way to change our way of life. And people are used to change their way of life, and it goes quickly. The only thing which would be for me very sad, it is to lose the connectivity, the social part of life,
the personal relations.
Everybody needs it, yes, and love it, yes.
Yeah,
this we need to try to avoid, and find a way by islands. The same, I would say, in hotels, it's like in offices. You need to have islands, you need to sometimes have dividers. Everything has to be flexible. Yes.
Oh yeah, and also as to be, we have to change very quickly based on the different situation. This is something that we learned about this this situation, that we have to change very quickly if we want to survive.
But on the other hand, sorry for the other hand, we appreciate really nature. We stop. And
I started gardening last week, first time.
And it's a part of creation also.
Yeah,
I mean, we find creation in very simple job, like gardening, like drawing. I started painting again. I didn't have time for painting, and I started painting again. And creation, when we try to find this creation in ourselves, then it's good.
You know, it's interesting because one of the topics that comes out during these interviews is always the digital revolution. So the fact that through the digital social media and channels and technologies that we now have at disposal, we can actually advertise our business in a different way. But also seeing what you are saying right now, you know, in this moment, in this last month, we've been surrounded by technology from all over the places, Zoom calls and webinars, Facebook, Instagram, and so on, that maybe there was so much of that we started again to appreciate the more simple things in life, like gardening or painting again, or painting that kitchen that you wanted to do for 5 years. Uh, so, but still, the importance of the digital technologies and channels is, I think, paramount in the developing of our businesses. And what is your opinion on that? And do you think Poland is in a good level in terms of digital technologies and their use?
I think we are very well developed now. We are following West, but my personal idea is still we should look to our races, to really basic things, yes. And sometimes to come back, of course, digitaling is very good. Digital things are good, but you feel good when you come back to something basic. That's why everything which is connected with ecology is nice, everything which is connected with simplicity is nice. So this gives, for me personally, it gives this reflection that it's very good to be on internet, webinar, and so on. But sometimes I need, as you said, garden, I need kitchen. I need really to rethink my life. And even I'm dreaming about going for holidays to dream under the tent. Yes, there is something very, very simple. Yes. And I think the simplicity will come back to us because we grew up from this, yes? Yeah. And this is something, ecology, greenery, we have to appreciate that, yes.
No, this is also something that you see and you used to see even before the situation in the youngest generations. So, for example, the generation that were born in 2000, 2002, that they were digital native. So they were born after the born of internet. And we see that those generations, they are thinking as we are thinking now. So they have been surrounded by technology and they are starting to use less and less. It's not always, but in some examples. And I think this is also what is happening right now.
I agree with you. I agree totally. And it was before COVID, I mean, before this virus, that people preferred work less, had this balance in his life, yes? Balance of work, creativity, friends, greenery, everything is giving us also this reflection, yes? That we miss something and that we should think about it.
Yeah, you know, and another interesting discussion that we usually do during these conversations is the role of smart working now and in the future, and also how the smart working is changing the way of designing some spaces. So, for example, if you have to have your office at home, you don't want to work in the same place where you do breakfast, and maybe you want to set a good environment for that.
Yes. But yes, I agree with that. It's like optimization of space, functionality, and the possibility to change the space quickly, to feel that you move, that you develop something. But it was also before. I was like that before. I mean, that I always wanted to change. I wanted to have my place for breakfast, for so right now it's even more important. I agree that you have to find the way of smart designing, that every function needs to be adapted to the place where you spend your time, in the office, in hotel, and everywhere. Yes.
You know, our community is full of designers and architects that follows our contacts, and I was wondering if you can give us an idea of one of your most recent projects Mm. How, where it was, and how, just a description of it from your words.
Right now we were supposed to open soon Crown Plaza in Warsaw with Holiday Inn Express, a big tour in center of Warsaw, like a skyscraper, and we are finishing this project. It's a big project. The project was like in every project that we do, we have a kind of telling story, and we want to tell someone a story. Yes, so that's why it's very important for us. We can produce it by graphics, by graphic, even in carpeting, on the walls, by wallpapers, or even drawn by ourselves. Yes, the graphics that you're
in my background, yeah,
is drawing right now. Yes. So the story about this hotel was mix of because it's in the center. It's a mix of activity. The project calls the hub. So the hub, that means that you have a crossing of all the transportation, metro, tramway, buses, and it's really in the center. But on the other hand, we mix it with the aspect of greenery, because in Warsaw you have Vistula River, which is very wild. You have very beautiful sand beaches, and it's really nice. So we mix this two point of view, the hub, like digital thing, a lot of lights, a lot of combination of a lot of lines and so on, with the part of rooms, which was more coming back to the Vistula River, nature, calm atmosphere, and greenery. So it was the story, which is very present in our case right now.
Yeah, definitely.
We need to mix it also in this time that we have today. Yes, that everything is going around us with computers and so on. But on the other hand, we have less traffic, of course. But on the other hand, we have this part that we love, like greenery, wild rivers, and so on. So this is the story of this hotel, yes.
Definitely. So I think this situation has pushed even more the need that we have for nature, and also in the last design trends that you see worldwide. There's a lot of nature involved. People
Yes.
want to have this at home or in the hotel they visit, in the restaurants. That is very, very interesting.
Yes, the greenery and come inside and outside and inside are trying to mix together. Yes.
No, is also interesting to see how this first, let's say, epidemic emergency has quickly transformed also in an economic emergency, at least in some countries. How is your vision and thoughts? How are your vision and thoughts about your specific country and market?
Poland is very special because we had a very difficult history. Yes, we were this a lot of wars. We had a lot of wars. We had this communistic period, and right now we had a period when we did developed really well. So a lot of activities in terms of designing, architecture, constructions, and so on. I hope that so right now we as architects, we don't really feel the crisis as much as probably the others, because not everything is closed. And I think in 6 months can be our case, that we will see that some things will be stopped, because everybody, all the developers will be afraid of. But I hope not. If it finish quickly, then I hope that everything will come back to the time before virus, and it was a good time for us, really creative and good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Also from different charts in the last month, you can see that Poland was also always in the first rates in terms of developing year per year. So also
so we had very special situation, and I hope we can survive it. We will be able to survive it, because we are not very rich from the past. I mean, from the history.
Sure.
So we yes, we will see.
No, it's a matter of how you face this situation, and I think Poland is facing it pretty well compared to other countries where the impact was definitely stronger.
Yeah, that's true.
Magdalena, it's very interesting to talk to you regarding this matter, especially because it's, as I said, our community is really full of architects and designers that maybe now are running small studios, small vendors, small shops. So I was wondering if you had any advice for this, for example, young architect that would like to found its own agency, its own studio. What would be the advices that you would like to give to this young
I would
Turks?
say the same advice as I would as before virus. If you want to create something or to do something, you need to have this added value. So you need to be different than the others. Yes. So if you have this in your designing or in your job or in idea that you are creating, then you will survive, I guess.
Oh, it's definitely now even more difficult for young people to start a business, but at the same time, there is also new opportunities in a crisis. So
Yes,
it could be
yes,
a,
I agree.
a good opportunity as well.
Yes, I think if we think how to change ourselves, how our life will change, and we will adapt to that, and we will be faster than the others, or we will find the way to impress the others, or have to make some emotions of the others, then it should work. We will survive, and in also the young people that will surprise the others and find the smart solutions. It's always creativity.
This I hope so. I'm seeing, directly in our region, for example, our company is based in Emilia Romagna, pretty close to Bologna, close to Sassuolo, the ceramic tile district.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of, for example, older generation than me, that in this situation, they do not really know what to do, despite of only talking about COVID-19 24 hours per day, and not actually finding new solutions to develop their business or to advertise their business. Well, I see other companies that have been pushed by this. And so maybe COVID-19 has pushed more than a lot of other things in terms of, for example, digital revolution or advertising in a different way or approaching clients in a different way. Because right now you cannot count anymore, at least for a period, to the traditional sales agent coming to you with the samples and showing you. You have to find another way how this professionals can work. How is this situation in Poland? So, are you receiving representatives, or are you meeting them via digital calls?
Not yet. We are meeting them via internet, but samples we send by post. Yes. So,
Yeah.
for instance, but we had some small period that we couldn't send anything to France or to Austria. It was totally closed. Now it's getting to be better. So we don't meet personally, and I think we will meet soon. I hope so, because we cannot stay like this. But we meet through internet and so on. Yes.
Do you think that this change in the behavior of clients and also professional will change the role of traditional vendors and traditional sales agents, for example?
They still need the contact with people, yes, because the work is always the contact with people. So they have to find a smart way of connecting people, yes. I would say the vendors, traditional one that comes to the office and present the samples, they have to find the way that is suitable for everybody. I like meeting people, so I will probably meet people, but maybe not the others, because I have colleagues that prefer to stay home, not meet anyone, and they meet through internet, yes. But I still think that showrooms will be present, and if you have a need, or if you need it, you will go and you need to check, touch, and see what's going on. Yes, and then you can control it. Yes.
Now, this is definitely one of the most important aspects in terms of choosing a specific material or fabric or finish. And I spoke yesterday with the showroom manager of Roche-Bobois North America, which is based in Manhattan. They have a huge showroom and in the center in Madison Avenue. And of course, they have been forced to close. And now they will reopen next week. And he was telling me about all the measurements that they have to take in terms of safety. So just one person at a time. They have to have different cleaners, and everybody has to wear masks. So this, I think, will maybe especially in the first period will affect how maybe people will visit the showrooms, and if they will visit the showrooms. It will take some months, I think, to completely recover.
Yes, but we will still need the showrooms. It will be a
definitely
way of presenting, maybe, or less clients, but we will still need it. We will still meet the people, commercials. Yes, that still will be needed. Yes.
I think the sales agents and traditional vendors, they have a very huge opportunity now, because what they have is the relationship with the clients. So and also with the manufacturers, they have to find a way to connect those two parts together in a different way, via maybe internet calls or other ways.
Yes, I agree totally with you. We are also, for us, this virus is an opportunity to rethink some functions in hotels, in offices, as you said before. We are really discussing this with our clients, and how to protect and how to rethink it. Buffet, for instance, and also we are designing small objects. And also right now we are working with one company that closed the factory to produce the cabin, which will be well designed, that we can pass through and disinfect ourselves. So we are working on this kind of project also right now, because they closed and they said, we have time, we have materials, so let's think about it. Yes, so we work together.
But does hotels actually ask you for specific things for the new projects? So
Yes, we are thinking. We are continuing the project that we had before, but they ask us to think how it will be possible, for instance, in the restaurant, to separate the places, to make them flexible, movable, maybe some conference area to be well divided, and maybe serve there a dinner or something. Maybe it will be the future also, that it won't be a restaurant open for everybody, but some people will go to the small conference room or VIP room and they will eat there. We have this kind of also receptionists under question, how to make it safe and work.
And so there's plenty of changes, and very quick.
Yes, and sometimes we are going back, because in reception we had idea to cancel the reception, to have the chairs
automatic
and so on. But sometimes with receptionists coming to the table, and today either it will be automatic, either it will be step back to the big desk, which will be well supervised with closed with plexi or something, and to be rethink. Yes, so either we will go faster to automatic things, or we will come back to what we had before. But this is the question that we are asking ourselves. Yes,
this is a matter of time, and these are changes that we are doing right now.
Yes.
Cool. Magdalena, thanks so much for this interview, and for the contents that you share with us. This episode will be broadcasted in about 3-4 weeks in our different channels, and we will update you as soon as we are ready.
Okay.
And thanks again to you and to Carpet Studio also to make us connect. And,
yes, thank you a lot, and your colleague that is entertaining me all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
now he's ciao Magda, so ciao all of you, ciao Marco and your friend. Yes, thank you.
Cool. Thanks so much, Magdalena. We'll be in touch very soon, and we will update you with everything.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Ciao. Cheers.